Hello, members and friends of Bay United Methodist Church, and any others who may be tuning in today. Welcome to you as well. Thank you for joining me in this midweek devotion. In Shakespeare's history plays, England's Henry V, before his ascension to the throne, was depicted as a good-hearted prince, but not at all interested in the affairs of state, nor in his duties as heir apparent to the throne. Instead of spending time in his father's court and learning the serious business of governance, Henry, or Hal as he is called, cavorted with the lowlifes of the Cheapside of London. His companions were thieves, pickpockets, drunkards, and grifters who treated him as one of their own. England was worried what kind of king he would make once his father, Henry IV, passed on. France also, the perennial rival of England, was delighted that the next ruler of their foe was so immature and so apparently incompetent. They were planning on how to press their advantage once the time arrived. And so, on the occasion when Henry V assumes the throne, France claims titles and lands that Henry believes by right belong to him, and so Henry threatens war with France. The Prince of France, nicknamed the Dauphin, scoffs at this so-called threat. He tells his father England is so poorly kinged by a vain, giddy, shallow, humorous youth that fear attends her not. But his father, the King of France, is not so sure. He remembers Henry's family tree. He recalls the father of England's current king. He remembers his uncle, Edward the Black Prince, who both shamed France time and time again on the battlefield. So the King of France reminds his scoffing son, this is a stem of that victorious stock, and let us fear the native mightiness and fate of him. So let me ask you, does your lineage really matter? The King of France thought so. Are you a product of your genetic code? Does your parentage determine your success or failure in life? Yeah, I know it's a joke, but the first time I heard the phrase, "Who's your daddy?" I thought they were talking about a father from Indiana. In some cases, who your daddy or mama is can really make a difference. In other cases, it doesn't matter one bit. Some say your environment, how you were raised, is more important. There are arguments on either side of the question. But there is one brand of parentage that is absolutely critical to your eternal success or failure. That, of course, is your spiritual parentage. 1 John 3:1 says, "See what love the Father has given us, that we should be called children of God, and that is what we are." Romans 8, verses 15 and 16 takes it further. Paul writes, "For you did not receive a spirit of slavery to fall back into fear, but you have received a spirit of adoption. When we cry, 'Abba, Father,' it is that very Spirit bearing witness with our spirit that we are children of God." My friends, if you believe in Jesus, then God claims you as his child. The Holy Spirit in you confirms your status with God. You feel it in your heart. You may wonder what difference that makes. Well, it makes a world of difference. Paul says this spirit of adoption frees us from slavery and dispels our fears. But there's more. In the next verse, Paul goes on to say, "And if we are then his children, then we are also heirs, heirs of God and joint heirs with Christ, if in fact we suffer with him, so that we might also be glorified with him." Freedom, fearlessness, glory. All the Father has is yours as well. These are the birthrights of God's children, even in times of suffering. This is why I know you will be victorious in this present crisis. You will not succumb to fear. You will not let your spirit be defeated. You will not let go of your joy. You will not just survive, but you will thrive, even in this isolation. How do I know this? Because I know that you are a stem of that victorious stock. You are a child of our triumphant God, and therefore the Spirit that is in you will lead you to glory even in the midst of hardship. When a little girl named Diane was growing up, she didn't think her parents were any big deal. They were just mom and dad to her, regular people, nobody special beyond being her loving parents. But when Diane started going to school, other people started treating her differently. They seemed to be especially kind to her. When she asked one of her new classmates why she was treating her this way, she responded, "Well, aren't you at Disney? Isn't your father Walt Disney? Isn't Mickey Mouse like your brother?" That afternoon, Diane walked into her father's study and demanded, "Why didn't you tell me you were Walt Disney?" As Diane grew older, she would be the first to say that she was blessed to have such a father. But dear friends, you have a spiritual lineage far greater than that. That means you are blessed beyond compare. Diane may not have realized her lineage, but never ever should you forget yours. Nor should you ever fail to take advantage of your spiritual parentage. You are a stem of that victorious stock which has overcome the world. That's why I know your spirit will prevail in this and every challenge that comes your way. God bless you, friends. We will see you soon.